To the general election now with, you're looking at it live, former President Donald Trump speaking in Green Bay, Wisconsin, his second stop in the upper Midwest as he's trying to punch through the so-called blue wall. In a state Mr. Trump lost last time around by just about 20,000 votes. And Donald Trump's kind of playing catch up here. He's hardly campaigned since he became the presumptive Republican nominee back in early March. Compare that to President Biden, who's been all over the map since Super Tuesday. Look at his stops here. President Biden often going after former President Trump and his fellow Republicans on an issue that Democrats think will be illuminating come November, and that is the issue of abortion access. In just the last couple of hours, in response to a question from our own Gabe Gutierrez, Mr. Trump hinted that he's going to really get into this sometime soon, this abortion debate. Listen.
President, do you support the 6-week abortion ban that the Florida Supreme Court just upheld?
We're going to make a statement next week.
Vaughn Hilliard is joining us now. He is traveling with the former president, covering him in Wisconsin. Okay, so Vaughn, you heard Donald Trump there say he's going to address abortion next week. And I know you've got to use, I think, your golf whisper as you're in the room here. President Biden is already responding to this from his campaign account, basically saying, well, wait a second, Donald Trump, you've already made your statement. Explain the back and forth here.
Right. The issue here is that Donald Trump has not been specific about exactly what type of legislation he believes should be put into effect, not only at the federal level, but also at the state level. He has not definitively said that he is opposed to a national abortion ban. And yet at the state level, he has not articulated exactly what type of legislation in terms of whether it be 6 weeks or 15 weeks that he would support. And that is where the question around 6 weeks, which is the current law in the state of Florida, is so pertinent, because Donald Trump is a Florida resident himself here. And Donald Trump here is suggesting that he will be making a statement. But you mentioned that tweet by Joe Biden, the current president, just a few moments ago, saying that Donald Trump had already made his position very clear. And that is the fact that none of this would be a conversation if it weren't for Donald Trump. And the fact that he nominated 3 conservatives to the U.S. Supreme Court who helped overturn Roe v. Wade in the summer of 2022. And Donald Trump, not only in that social media post from last year that you're looking at, but repeatedly on the campaign trail has told crowds that he takes credit for overturning Roe v. Wade, and that legislation at the federal or state level would not even be possible without him. And so that is where the clear line is from the Biden, not only the White House, but also the campaign, which issued a new TV ad here just today on the issue. And they intend to make it very clear to the American public at large, which a majority of the country per polling is supportive of women's reproductive rights, Hallie.
There's also some news tonight in just the last hour or so that Mr. Trump is apparently suing 2 co-founders of Truth Social. Why?
If I was president,
this is complicated. He is suing them, suggesting that they did not properly set up the business in the proper way. They have about 8% stake in the company. Donald Trump has about 60% stake in the company. And when you're looking at the millions of dollars at play here, this is where it could become significant. This is its first week being traded on the stock exchange. And just yesterday alone, Donald Trump watched the value of the company drop by about 20%, which has a value of about $1 billion. And he is prevented from selling his stake in the company for at least 6 months. And there is a chance that this meme stock could significantly drop. And at a moment here in which he is seeing his financial circumstances, potentially even tied to the sell or the ability to sell Truth Social, the extent to which he can have a greater share of the company under his name is imperative for him. And that's clearly a part of this lawsuit, Hallie.
Vaughn Hilliard live for us there in Green Bay, right in the thick of it as this general election continues on. Vaughn, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.